Goals: How to Get Everything You Want Faster Than You Ever Thought Possible by Brian Tracy. Picture a young guy, barely out of his teens, completely lost in life. No high school diploma, no real skills, and definitely no plan. His first gig? Washing dishes in a dingy hotel kitchen. Then he moved on to washing cars. Then, floors. He bounced around like a pinball, working in sawmills, factories, on farms and ranches. He dug wells, hauled construction materials, and even spent months on a freezing freighter in the North Atlantic. Some nights, his car was his bedroom. By 23, he was sleeping on hay in a barn, working as a farm laborer, eating whatever the farmer's family would share with him, and genuinely wondering where his next meal might come from. No education, no special talents, and unemployed more often than not. This was about as rough a start as you could imagine. Then something weird happened. Sitting alone one day, he grabbed a scrap of paper and scribbled down a goal so ridiculously ambitious, so laughably out of reach for someone in his position, that it almost felt like a joke. He folded up that paper, tucked it away, and actually never saw it again. But here's the crazy part. 30 days later, his entire life had completely transformed. That young guy was Brian Tracy, and what happened in those 30 days and in all the years that followed isn't just his story. It's about something powerful that exists inside every single person, just waiting to be activated. It's about a surprisingly simple mechanism for achievement that's lifted more people from failure to success, from confusion to clarity, than pretty much any other idea ever discovered. Today we're diving into his masterwork, Goals. This isn't just another feel-good success book. It's the best-selling book on goal achievement in history. And that's not by accident. It's sold hundreds of thousands of copies, been translated into dozens of languages, and its message works just as well today as it did decades ago. So what's the secret? What did Brian Tracy figure out that day, and how can it change your life starting right now? Here's my promise. By the end of our time together, you'll understand the master skill of success. Not just as some abstract theory, but as a practical, step-by-step system you can actually use to get everything you want, way faster than you ever imagined possible. Let's jump in. Imagine you're driving down a highway, but you're stuck in the thickest fog you've ever seen. You can barely make out anything more than a few feet ahead. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're driving a beat-up old sedan or a sleek new Ferrari. How fast are you going to go? Probably pretty slow, right? You'd be tapping those brakes constantly, tense, nervous, barely making any progress at all. This, Tracy explains, is exactly how most people live their entire lives. They've got a powerful engine under the hood, their potential, their talent, all that energy, but without a clear destination, they just drift through this fog of uncertainty, never daring to really hit the gas. Goals are what clear that fog. The moment you decide exactly what you want, the fog lifts. The road ahead becomes crystal clear, and suddenly you can step on the gas of your own life and actually race toward your destination. Sounds simple, maybe even too simple, right? But there's this wise saying, success is goals and all else is commentary. And when you really study the lives of high achievers, you realize how true that is. Someone with average intelligence but crystal clear goals will absolutely run circles around a genius who doesn't know what they really want. So if this is true, why doesn't everyone have clear, written goals? Tracy thinks it comes down to 4 reasons. First, most people just don't realize how important goals actually are. If you grow up in a family where nobody talks about goals, or you hang out with friends who never set them, you can easily reach adulthood without ever knowing that this is the master skill of success. Second, they don't know how. Tons of people think they have goals, but what they really have are just vague wishes. I want to be happy. I want to make lots of money. These aren't goals, they're fantasies. A real goal is different. It's clear, specific, and written down. You can measure it. You know without any doubt when you've achieved it. The third reason is fear of failure. Failure hurts. It's embarrassing and painful. So to avoid that pain, Many people unconsciously sabotage themselves by never setting a real goal in the first place. They play it safe and end up living lives way below what they're actually capable of. And finally, there's fear of rejection. People worry that if they set a big goal and don't hit it, others will criticize or mock them. That's why, when you're starting out, it's smart to keep your goals private. Don't broadcast them. Let people see your results later. What they don't know can't hurt you. The turning point for Tracy, and for anyone who wants to tap into this power, starts with a single profound realization. He had this moment on a cold winter night, sitting alone in a tiny one-room apartment. He was broke, working construction during the day, with nothing to do at night because he literally couldn't afford to go anywhere. And in that quiet moment it hit him like a lightning bolt. For the rest of his life, everything that happened to him was completely up to him. Nobody was coming to rescue him. Nobody else was going to swoop in and fix things. If his life was going to change, it had to start with him. He was responsible. This, he says, is the giant leap from childhood to adulthood. Sadly, most people never fully take it. They spend their lives complaining about the past, blaming other people, or making excuses. But the moment you accept total responsibility for your life, you take your power back. When you genuinely say the words, "I am responsible," you short-circuit all negative emotions. You can't be angry and accept responsibility at the same time. Blame, resentment, envy, they all just vanish. You stop being a victim and become the architect of your own destiny. From that moment on, you see yourself differently. You're the president of your own personal services corporation. You're self-employed, even if you work for someone else. You're in charge of your career, your finances, your health, your relationships. You're the boss. Once you've truly accepted this responsibility, the next step is building your inner compass. Before you decide where you're going, you need to understand who you are. Life is lived from the inside out. At the very core of your personality are your values. They dictate everything you do. Think of your personality like a target with 5 rings. At the very center are your values, what you believe in and stand for. Your values determine the next ring, your beliefs about yourself and the world. Your beliefs determine the 3rd ring, your expectations of what's possible. Your expectations shape the 4th ring, your attitude toward everything. And finally, your attitude determines the 5th ring, your actual actions. What you achieve on the outside is always a reflection of what's happening inside of you. That's why clarifying your values is the true starting point of high achievement. Your goals have to be in harmony with your values. If they're not, even if you achieve them, you'll feel empty. It's like climbing a huge ladder of success, only to realize it's been leaning against the wrong building the whole time. So how do you figure out what your true values are? Look at your actions, especially when you're under pressure. When you're forced to choose, you'll always act consistently with what matters most to you in that moment. Ask yourself, what makes you feel important? What gives you the greatest sense of pride? What words would you want people to use to describe you when you're not around? Once your values are clear, you need to examine your beliefs. The law of belief says that whatever you believe with conviction becomes your reality. You don't believe what you see. You see what you already believe. And the most dangerous beliefs of all are your self-limiting beliefs. If you believe you're limited in some way, that you're not smart enough, creative enough, or disciplined enough, it becomes true for you, whether it's actually based on reality or not. The truth is, you have more potential than you could use in 100 lifetimes. Nobody is inherently better than you, and nobody is inherently smarter than you. They might just be smarter in different areas, or they might have developed their skills earlier. All business skills are learnable. Whatever others have done, you can do as well. Your job is to challenge these self-limiting beliefs. Ask yourself, what if they weren't true at all? What if you actually had an extraordinary talent for something you thought you were terrible at? Imagine there was a belief store. You could walk in and purchase any belief you wanted and install it directly into your mind. Which one would you choose? Tracy suggests this one. I am destined to be a big success in life. If you believed that with absolute conviction, you'd start to walk, talk, and act as if everything that happens to you is part of some grand plan to make you successful. You'd see every setback not as failure, but as a valuable lesson on your path to inevitable success. With your inner world aligned, responsibility accepted, values clarified, and beliefs empowered, you're now ready to create your future. Great leaders share one quality: vision. They think about the future. They're future-oriented. Most people, on the other hand, think about the present, the pleasures and problems of right now, or they dwell on the past. When you start thinking about your future, you start thinking like a leader. Researchers at Harvard found that long-time perspective is the single most accurate predictor of upward mobility and financial success. The further into the future you think, the better decisions you'll make in the present. So how do you develop this long-time perspective? You practice what Tracy calls idealization. You create a 5-year fantasy. Imagine your life is absolutely perfect 5 years from now in every single way. And here's the key. Imagine you have zero limitations. You've got all the time, money, talent, and connections you could ever need. What would your career look like? What would you be doing? How much would you be earning? What about your family life? What kind of relationships would you have? Where would you live? And your health? If you were in peak physical condition, how would you look and feel? Don't worry about the how just yet. The only question you ask is, what would have to have happened for me to create this perfect future? By dreaming big dreams first, you unleash your creativity and unlock your true potential. Now, with this exciting vision of your future, you're finally ready to build the bridge from where you are today to where you want to go. This is where we get to the heart of it all, the 12-step system for setting and achieving any goal. This is the recipe, the formula, that works every single time. Step 1. Have a desire. What do you really want? It has to be something you genuinely want for yourself, personally. Your desire is the fuel in the furnace of achievement. The more reasons you have for wanting your goal, the more intense your desire will be. Step 2. Believe. You've got to believe, deep in your heart, that your goal is actually achievable. To make it believable, especially at the start, set goals that stretch you but are still realistic. You can't go from broke to millionaire in a year, but you can increase your income by 25%. Start with small victories to build your confidence. Step 3. Write it down. This is the magic step. A goal that isn't in writing isn't really a goal at all. It's just a wish. The act of writing programs your goal into your subconscious mind. Your goals must be written in the present, positive, and personal tense. Not, I will earn $100,000, but I earn $100,000 this year. Always start with the word I. Step 4. Analyze your starting point. Where are you right now? If you want to lose weight, you first have to step on the scale. If you want to achieve a financial goal, you need to calculate your net worth today. You've got to be brutally honest with yourself. Step 5. Determine why you want it. Make a list of all the benefits you'll enjoy when you achieve your goal. If you've got 1 or 2 reasons, you'll have a little motivation. If you've got 50 reasons, you'll be absolutely unstoppable. Step 6. Set a deadline. A goal is a dream with a deadline. Your mind loves deadlines. It gives you a target to aim at and creates a forcing system that drives you forward. If the goal is big, break it down with sub-deadlines. Step 7. Identify the obstacles. Why aren't you at your goal already? What's holding you back? Here's a crucial insight. 80% of the obstacles are internal. They're within you. A lack of skill, a bad habit, or a self-limiting belief. Only 20% are external. Superior people always look inward and ask, what is it in me that's holding me back? Step 8. Determine the knowledge and skills you need. To achieve something you've never achieved before, you've got to become someone you've never been before. What one skill, if you developed it and did it excellently, would help you the most to achieve your most important goal? Whatever your answer, make a plan to master that skill. Step 9. Determine the people you'll need. Whose help and cooperation will you require? Your boss, your family, your customers, your friends. Your ability to build and maintain good relationships is absolutely critical to your success. The fastest way to get others to help you is to first find ways to help them. Step 10. Make a plan. A plan is simply a list of all the steps you need to take to get from where you are to where you want to go, organized by priority and sequence. Remember, every minute spent planning saves 10 minutes in execution. Step 11. Visualize your goal continually. Create a clear mental picture of your goal, as if it's already been achieved. See it, feel it, experience the joy and satisfaction of it. Your imagination is your preview of life's coming attractions. The more vividly and intensely you visualize your goal, the faster it will materialize in your reality. Step 12. Never give up. Back everything you do with persistence and determination. Resolve in advance that you'll persevere until you succeed. Persistence is self-discipline in action. It's the iron quality of success. Now, out of all the goals you might have, there's always one that's more important than the rest. Tracy calls this your major definite purpose. This is the one goal that, if you accomplish it, will have the greatest positive impact on your life and help you achieve most of your other goals. How do you find it? Use the 10-goal exercise. Take out a clean sheet of paper. Write down 10 goals you'd like to accomplish in the next 12 months. Write them in the present tense, as if you've already achieved them. Now look over your list and ask yourself this magic question. If I could only achieve one goal on this list, which one would have the greatest positive impact on my life? That goal is your major definite purpose. That becomes your North Star. You focus on it, think about it, and work on it every single day. When you have a major definite purpose, something incredible happens. You activate a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. It's like a mental radar. When you decide a red sports car is important to you, you suddenly start seeing red sports cars everywhere. In the same way, when you decide your goal is important, your mind becomes intensely aware of people, opportunities, and information that can help you achieve it. But there's an even deeper power at work. Tracy calls it the superconscious mind. This is the source of all breakthrough ideas, intuition, and creativity. It's the universal power that Mozart used to compose entire operas in his mind, and that Thomas Edison used to generate over 1,000 patents. This mind gets stimulated by clear written goals that are intensely desired and regularly visualized. When you focus single-mindedly on your goal, or when you completely relax and let go, this mind will deliver to you exactly the right idea or answer at exactly the right time. You experience this as serendipity, making happy, unexpected discoveries. Or synchronicity, when seemingly unrelated events connect in a meaningful way to help you along your path. Your job isn't to figure it all out, but to trust the process. And that brings us to the final, and perhaps most important, quality of all, persistence. Your ability to persist in the face of adversity is the ultimate measure of your belief in yourself. Every great success is a triumph of persistence. History shows that the most notable winners almost always encountered heartbreaking obstacles before they triumphed. They won because they refused to become discouraged by defeat. As Winston Churchill said, never give in, never, never give in. Your greatest successes often lie just one step beyond the point of greatest discouragement. Most people give up on the 1-yard line, just before they score the winning touchdown. The one quality that guarantees your eventual success is the willingness to fight one more round, to get up one more time than you fall down. And it all starts with that first step, that decision to clear the fog, to take responsibility, and to write down on a simple piece of paper exactly what you want. As we step back and look at the entirety of Brian Tracy's philosophy and goals, what really strikes me is its profound and beautiful simplicity. In a world constantly selling us complex life hacks, quick fixes, and secret formulas, Tracy's message is refreshingly straightforward. It's a return to fundamentals. The power of this book doesn't lie in some revolutionary, unheard-of idea. Its power lies in its relentless focus on proven, timeless principles that have worked for high achievers for centuries. It's a reminder that you don't need to be a genius, you don't need a privileged background, and you don't need to get lucky. What you need is clarity, discipline, and the courage to persist. The central lesson for me is that your future isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you actively create. You're the architect. And, like any great architect, you've got to start with a blueprint. Your written goals are that blueprint. Without them, you're just randomly nailing boards together, hoping it somehow turns into a house. With them, you can build a masterpiece. What makes Tracy's work so enduring is that it's not just about material success. He teaches a balanced approach. He reminds us that goals for our finances are important, but so are goals for our health, our family, our relationships, and our personal growth. A wheel has to be balanced to roll smoothly, and so does a life. If you're hearing all of this and feeling a bit overwhelmed by the 12 steps and all the different laws and principles, let me simplify it for you with a few actions you can take right now, today. First, do the 10-goal exercise. Don't just think about it. Grab a real piece of paper and a pen. It'll take you 5 minutes. Write down 10 things you want to accomplish in the next year, as if you've already done them. Then circle the one that would change your life the most. This single 5-minute act can set in motion forces you can't yet imagine. Second, for the next 24 hours, live by the mantra, I am responsible. Every time you feel the urge to complain, blame someone else, or make an excuse for something, stop yourself. Just for one day, accept total ownership of everything that happens. Notice how it changes the way you feel. Notice how it puts you back in the driver's seat. And third, ask yourself this simple question throughout your day. What is the most valuable use of my time right now? That question alone, if you answer it honestly and act on it, will revolutionize your productivity and your results. That was a summary of Goals by Brian Tracy. We've explored the main ideas of this incredible book today, but I have to be honest with you. A summary is like looking at a map of a beautiful country. The map is useful, it shows you the layout, but it can never compare to the experience of actually walking the trails, breathing the air, and seeing the landscapes with your own eyes. The real magic happens when you read the book for yourself. It's in those quiet moments when a particular story or a simple phrase connects with you in a way you didn't expect. This summary is designed to help you decide if this book deserves your time. If anything we've discussed has sparked something inside you, I encourage you to grab a copy. Reading it isn't just about learning. It's an experience that can genuinely change the way you see yourself and the world around you. You can find a link to the book in the description below. Also, if you found this journey valuable, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss our next exploration into another life-changing book. Let's keep learning and growing together. Thanks for listening.